Once you pick a general topic for your paper, you need to come up with a thesis. Your thesis is the main and focal point of your paper and is the position you will take on your particular topic. Formulating a strong thesis is one of the most important things you need to do to ace your paper. Once thesis is focal point is position. Once you pick a general topic for your paper, you need to come up with a thesis. Your thesis is the main focal point of your paper and is the position you will take on your particular topic. Formulating a strong thesis is one of the most important things you need to do to ace your paper. Many papers you write in college will require you to include quotes from one or more sources. Even if you don't have to do it, integrating a few quotes into your writing can add life and persuasiveness to your arguments. The key is to use quotes to support a point you are trying to make rather than just include them to fill space. Many papers you write in the college will require you to include quotes from one or more sources. Even if you don't have to do it, integrating a few quotes into your writing can add life and persuasiveness to your arguments. The key is to use quotes to support a point you are trying to make rather than just include them in the to fill space. Networking is easy and fun because it taps into this human predilection to talk about ourselves when asked. Consider successful networking as little more than the process of getting a person to tell you about his life, what he's doing, the company that employs him, and his current industry. Networking is easy because taps ourselves asked as process. Networking is easy and fun because it taps into this human redirection to talk about ourselves when asked. Consider successful networking as little more than the process of getting a person to tell you about his life, what he's doing, the company that employs him, and his current industry. Although Botswana's economic outlook remains strong. The devastation that AIDS has caused threatens to destroy the country's future. In 2001, Botswana had the highest rate of HIV infection in the world. With the help of international donors, it launched an ambitious national campaign that provided free antiviral drugs to anyone who needed them, and by March 2004, Botswana's infection rate has dropped significantly. Although Botswana's economic outlook remains strong, the devastation that AIDS has caused threatens to destroy the country's economic future. In 2001, Botswana had the highest rate of HIV infection in the world. With the help of international donors, it launched an ambitious national campaign that provided free antiviral drugs to anyone who needed them, and by March 2004, Botswana's infection rate has dropped significantly. Over the centuries, the holiday evolved, and by the 18th century, gift-giving and exchanging handmade cards on Valentine's Day had become common in England. Handmade Valentine's cards made of glaze, ribbons, and featuring cupids, and hearts eventually spread to the American colonies. The tradition of Valentine's cards did not become widespread to the United States, however, until the 1850s. Centuries. 18th century gift exchanging Valentine's Day had become more common in England. Over the centuries, the holiday evolved, and by the 18th century, gift-giving and exchanging handmade cards on Valentine's Day has become common in England. Handmade Valentine's cards are made of glaze, ribbons, and featuring cupids and hearts, eventually spread to the American colonies. The tradition of Valentine's cards did not become widespread to the United States, however, until the 1850s. Thompson recognized and exploited all the ingredients of a successful amusement ride, writes Judith R. Adams in American Amusement Park Industry. His authors combine an appearance of danger with actual safety, thrill riders with exhilarating speed, and allow the public to intimately experience the industrial revolutions, new technologies of gears, steel, and dazzling electric lights. Thompson recognized and exploited all the ingredients of a successful amusement ride, writes Judith Adams in American Amusement Park Industry. His authors combine an appearance of the danger with actual safety, thrill riders with exhilarating speed, and allow the public to intimately experience the industrial revolutions, new technologies of gears, steel, and dazzling electric lights. For centuries, Atlantic has been one of the Western world's favorite legends, a tantalizing blend of fantasy and mystery. Stories tell of a rich and glorious empire that was lost to the sea, where some of its ruins still lie, waiting to be discovered. Centuries, Atlantis has Western world's favorite legends. For centuries, Atlantis has been one of the Western world's favorite legends, a tantalizing blend of fantasy and mystery. Stories tell of a rich and glorious empire that was lost into the sea, where some of its ruins still lie, waiting to be discovered.
Professor Smith will be late for today's lecture.
Professor Smith will be late for today's lecture.
The circulation desk is located on the ground floor.
The circulation desk is located on the ground floor.
Tutorials are held for 2 hours every Thursday during semester.
Tutorial they have for sure every 2 hours every Thursday during semester.
International students can get help with locating housing near the university.
International students can get help with locating housing near universities.
The student welfare officer can help with questions about exam technique.
The student welfare officer can help with questions about exam techniques.
Most of the students were not able to attend Professor Green's seminar.
Most of the students were not able to attend Professor Green's seminar.
Some of the references in the essay were old and out of date.
Some of the references in the essay were old and out of date.
We will divide the class into 3 discussion groups.
We will divide the class into 3 discussion groups.
Every student in the class passed the exam without trouble.
Every student in the class passed the exam without trouble.
There is more detail in the table on page 5.
There is more detail in the table on page 5.
You can get to the college by bus, train, or car.
You can get to the college by bus, train, or car.
We should divide the assignment into 3 parts and work together.
We should divide the assignments into 3 parts and work together. Spanish-speaking countries by population, the maximum in Mexico with over 80 millions. The Chile is the minimum which is under 20 millions. Chile, Peru, Venezuela, United States, Spain, Argentina, Colombia, and Mexico. The picture shows Spanish-speaking countries by population. It also provides information about the topic in different aspects, including Chile, Peru, Venezuela, United States, Spain, Argentina, Colombia, and Mexico. As can be seen from the picture, Mexico is the maximum, which is over 80 millions. On the other hand, Chile is the minimum, which is under 20 millions. In conclusion, the lecture gives interesting information about the Spanish-speaking countries by population, including Chile, Peru, Venezuela, United States, Spain, Argentina, Colombia, and Mexico. About the glass building. Glass building is the modern one, and with the old building. Mirror sky blue in the blue color. Old building have the top in the red color. The lecture shows the old building versus the modern building. It also provides information about the topic in different aspects, including the tall building, sky, clouds, old building, red top. As can be seen from the picture, the new glass building is located in the center of the picture and which is in blue color. On the other hand, the old building located on the top of the picture, which is about gray color with the grass on top. In conclusion, the lecture gives interesting information about the old building and the new building. Daily processor chip output maximum on Friday, which is about 16,000. Minimum on Sunday, which is about 0,000. Chip produced 1,000. 0, 10, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 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 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The picture shows the daily processor chip output. It also provides information about the topic in different aspects, including Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As can be seen from the picture, Friday is the maximum with around 16,000. On the other hand, Sunday is the minimum, which is around 0. In conclusion, the lecture covers interesting information about the daily processor chip output, including Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the chip produced in thousand and the rest of the day. The timetable on Monday. Timetable on Monday of semester 1, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Introductory statistics, psychology lecture, lunch, English literature tutorial, economic lecture. Lecture from 3 p.m. Introductory statistics start at 9 a.m. The table shows the Monday's timetable of the semester 1. It also provides information about the topic in different aspects, including introductory statistics, psychology lecture, lunch, English literature, tutorial, and economics literature. As can be seen from the picture, introductory statistics started at 9 a.m. and moreover, English literature and tutorial started from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. In conclusion, the lecture covers interesting information about the timetable of the Monday semester 1 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Most of travel to university for second year students, total respondents is equal to 100. Travel by train is 60. Travel by car is 30. And the travel by bus, train, and car is 10. The picture shows most of travel to university for second year students. It also provides information about the topic in different aspects, including total respondents, travel by train, and travel by car. As can be seen from the picture, total respondents is equal to 100, and travel by train is 60. On the other hand, travel by car is 30, and the travel to by both train and cars is 10. In conclusion, the lecture covers interesting information about modes of travel to university for second-year students, including total respondents, travel by train, and travel by car. The chart below team members of management team. On the top, the director is Jim Tongnold. Assistant to the director is Chris Grelt. Marketing manager, business development manager, customer relation managers. The picture shows members of management team. It also provides information about the topic in different aspects, including director, assistant to director, marketing manager, business development manager, and customer relations manager. As can be seen from the picture, director is Jim Tonnels, and then assistant to director is Chris Grouse, and Michael Davis is marketing manager. Aaron Monanis is business development manager, and at the end, Marjorie Smith is customer relations manager. In conclusion, the lecture talks about the members of management team. Cuối cùng. This is undergraduate theater, science labs, Thomas Main Library, sports fields. This is the map of the university campus. The picture shows the map of university campus. It also provides information about the topic in different aspects, including undergraduate lecture theaters, science labs, Thomas Main Library, and sports fields. As can be seen from the picture, sports field is located on the bottom right of the picture and in the red brown colors. On the other hand, science lab is located on the left-hand side, which in the rectangular red colors. In conclusion, the lecture gives interesting information about the university map in campus with science labs and Thomas Mann Library and sports fields.
The Human Development Index, HDI, published annually by the UN, ranks nations according to their citizens' quality of life rather than strictly by a nation's traditional economic figures. The criteria for calculating rankings include life expectancy, educational attainment, and adjusted real income. The most livable countries in 2006 were Norway, Iceland, Australia, Ireland, and Sweden.
The lecture talks about the world's most livable country in 2006, each including 5 countries: Norway, Ireland, Australia, Iceland, and Switzerland. It also talks about the quantity applied in the Human Development Index, it means ATI, and the national traditional economic figures. Moreover, it also mentioned about the life expectancy, education achievement, and about the real income. In conclusion, the lecture covers important information about the world's most livable country in 2006, from Norway to Sweden.
There once was a time in American history when the thought of women working for complex, multinational technology companies, giant advertising firms, and massive publishing houses was snickered at behind closed boardroom doors. Today, women are running those companies from some of those very same boardrooms. But although women make up almost half of America's labor force, as of 2005, only 8 Fortune 500 companies have women CEOs or presidents, and 67 of those 500 companies don't have any women corporate officers. Catalyst, the not-for-profit New York-based women's research organization, points out that its data shows a change over the last 10 years. In 1995, 8.7% of corporate officers in Fortune 500 companies were women. This percentage rose to 16.4% by 2005. While this is progress, they note that at this rate, it would take 40 years for the number of female corporate officers to match the number of male officers. For the few women who have reached the highest ranks, they'd prefer not to talk about their gender. To them, it's no longer an issue. Their accomplishments represent significant milestones, not just for women in business, but for women all over the world making career choices.
The lecture talks about the woman in the labor force in America. Firstly, this is the time in American history half the women works for the high information technology companies, and then many women run many companies. And then in the 2005, the labor force woman is equal to 50% as the men. Later on, about the employment in corporate government bisexual, about 16.4% as the female officers. In conclusion, the lecture said that this is the role from 16.4 CAOs working as the female from 2005.
More than 1 billion people in about 70 countries around the world observe Daylight Saving Time, DST, in some form. Here are interesting facts about some of these countries. Most of Canada uses Daylight Saving Time. Some exceptions include the majority of Saskatchewan and parts of northeastern British Columbia. In the fall of 2005, Manitoba and Ontario announced that, like the United States, they would extend daylight time starting in 2007. The Attorney General of Ontario commented that it is important to maintain Ontario's competitive advantage by coordinating time changes with our major trading partner and harmonising our financial, industrial, transportation and communications links. Other provinces have indicated that they may also follow suit. It wasn't until 1996 that our NAFTA neighbours in Mexico adopted DST. Now all three Mexican time zones are on the same schedule as the United States.
The lecture talks about the daily saving time. First of all, 61 billion people around the world is affected by the daily saving time. Moreover, about Canada, most of the land in Canada will be affected by the daily saving time. In 2005, Ontario, it will extend the daily saving time. The US also extended the daily saving time in 2007. It's also important to maintain the daily saving time because it will affect to the industrial, financial, and the economy. In conclusion, the Mexico also changed the daily saving time to adapt with the US.
Who would you consult to treat a fear of crowded places? A philosopher or a psychologist?
Philosopher. Philosopher.
How would most people travel to work each day in big cities like Hong Kong, Tokyo, and New York?
Public transport. Public transport.
Would a supermarket, a cafe, or a bookstore probably have the widest range of products available?
Supermarket. Supermarket.
In which room of their home would someone usually wash their clothes?
Laundry. Laundry. Laundry.
Despite all the advances in equality between the sexes, would more men or women play professional football?
Man. Man.
Which major branch of science deals with classification of living things?
Biology. Biology.
In most university courses, there are two ways of being assessed. One is orally, the other is through
Written examinations. Written examination.
Name a month that falls between September and November.
October. October.
Would a town, a village, or a city probably cover the largest area?
City. City.
Which of these would probably be found in most homes around the world? A computer, a bed, or a television?
A bed. A bed. A bed.
what does the main difference between a wristwatch and a clock relate to?
The size. The size. The size.